Good morning. Happy Sunday, guys. I hope everybody has a good Sunday. I just wanted to hop in and wish you guys a good day and a great Sunday. I know it's been a minute for me, but I'm here, so I just wanted to come in really quick and wish you guys a good day, to be honest. I know I've been super busy, and yeah, I just been really busy and just working on myself, literally, and evolving. That's what I feel. And so I just wanted to come in and let you guys know I'm still here and alive, and I just been doing me, to be honest. And so I just wanted to wish you guys a good Sunday. I know a lot of people probably are at church and stuff, so hopefully everybody enjoys that. And all that good stuff, you know. It's so crazy because I think I've told you guys before that, I don't really go to church that much. But for my own personal reasons, But I still appreciate God and stuff, I still praise him in my alone time. And I feel like I'm more connected to him whenever I'm one-on-one with him, versus being in church around everybody else that maybe aren't. I don't know. I just feel like I'm just more connected to God whenever I like worship him one-on-one, And so I think I could hear him more of what he's trying to tell me on what to do, And so sometimes, like, I don't do my videos sometimes, and unless I'm called to. And so I don't just put anything out there, I could, but I don't. So whenever I'm called to do a video, I'll do it, and if I'm not, I won't do it. Or if I'm feeling like if I'm not like myself that day or something, I won't do a video. It's just like certain days I will do it, and then certain days I won't. And I just go by my intuition. And so today was one of those days. So I'm here, and just to wish you guys a good day, to be honest. But you know what? So, I've mentioned in my videos before that, I don't really go to church that much, but I don't look down upon people that go to church, because I used to go to church all the time, especially when I was a child. But, as I grew and stuff, and more things came to light, and just seeing how people acted outside of church, it kind of dissuaded me from going. So I kind of just go one-on-one with God, and by me doing that, I actually understood him more, or understand him more, and I feel like I'm closer to him by being that way. And I don't know, that's just how I am. The craziest part is, like, I'm gonna tell you guys a story. So I remember it was I think the last time I went to church, actually, it was in 2019. I remember all my dates. It's so crazy. Like, I have like a really vivid memory. And so I know it was in 2019 because that was the year I moved in with my ex. And I think it was right before I moved in with him. We took my kids, to the park, because I wanted them, I think we had just moved in, or we were about to. And so I wanted to take the kids to the park so they could play instead of being in the house all day. And so I took them to the park. We took them to the park, and I remember they were playing, and me and my ex were in a car watching them play, and the craziest part is that he got in the back seat. I don't remember why he was in the back seat, but eventually he got in the back seat. I don't remember why, but maybe he wasn't. I don't remember. He might have been in a passenger seat, but I remember I went to go play with the kids for a little bit, and he stayed in the car. And I think he was in a passenger seat, and I remember these two women came up to me while I was playing with the kids, and they're a part of this church. And they're watching me. I seen them watching me for a long time. Sorry if it's loud, but they're watching me for a long time. I saw them watching me, right? And so they came up to me and they were like talking to me about God, and they're showing me, like, telling me scriptures of the Bible. And they're asking me if I had a church I went to, and I was telling them not yet. I was looking for one for me and the kids at the time, whenever I got more stable and stuff, And they were like, they're just wanting me to come to her church. And she just kept talking to me about God and stuff, and I didn't have an issue with it because I love God, But then I remember whenever I got back to the car, they came over to my car, and they're trying to talk to me more about, like, the services that they provide and stuff, and trying to give me their number and everything. And my ex didn't like it. He was just like, don't talk to them, they're weird. Don't believe these people, they have issues and all this stuff, right? And I don't know if they picked up on it or not, but they were just looking at me. They're like, who's that guy? And I was just like, oh, he's like my boyfriend, and they're like, I don't know, he just seems kind of strange to us. And I was just like, and he just looked really weird because he just stayed in the car, and he's like in the darkness, and he just me-mugged them the whole time, and I just thought it was rude, And then I told him about himself later, like, that was kind of rude, and he was just like, I don't want you to communicate with them. You shouldn't go to their church. They always do that, and you shouldn't go to their church and all this stuff, right? I didn't really listen to him because I just knew he was just like a party pooper. Oh my gosh, there's a bee. Anyway, he's like a party pooper. And so I didn't really listen to him because he always, every time something good happens for me, or if I was happy, he always found a way to dampen the mood. And so I was just like, I'm not going to listen to him. And I went to a church anyway, like, on my own time. And I think I was still staying at my mom's house at the time. So I didn't really let him know. I didn't let anybody know, to be honest. And I just went one day when I had time. And I went by myself, just check it out. And the craziest part is, like, this is the first time, because I think when we were at the park, they were telling me that God was a woman. And so that was my first time hearing that. And so I was just like, that's weird. I've never heard that before, And so when I went to their church, it's a pretty cool church. The kids, they had the kids sitting in one aisle, they're all the kids are sitting in together. And they all had, like, veils over their face, I believe. But they're like, it was like lace. And the kids, like, they're all together, right? And then they have the women and the men, but I think they're separate. Like, the women were on one side, I believe, and the men were on the other side. I don't remember. It was so long ago, but it was something like that, And they started preaching, and they're saying that God was a woman, and I was just like, that's crazy. That's weird. I never heard that. But then I heard them say, like, he's a woman and man, And so I just thought it was pretty interesting. So I was just listening to the whole their testimony and stuff, as the preacher is preaching. And I just thought it was really interesting because I've never heard that before, right? And so I believe I got baptized a couple of days later at that church. And I got baptized and stuff, I wrote my name in the book after I got baptized and everything. And I don't know if I ever went back, but I think I kept in contact with the women, and I was going to take the kids. I think I was going to take the kids back, but I don't remember what happened. And so the craziest part is that I remember going home that night. I don't know. I think it was the night after I got baptized. I went home. Or it was either that night or maybe a couple of nights later. I had bought a Bible, and I was reading the Bible in my room, and weird stuff started happening in my room as I was reading the Bible. Like I seen different things in my room, and or like the words in the Bible would just pop out at me and stuff. And I was like, this is strange, you know. It was really creepy in a way. It's just strange. And so it was just crazy, you know. But that was my first time hearing that God was a woman. But the thing is, and that was in 2019. And the thing is, like, a lot of people that I talked to about that church, you know, they're just like, don't go back to that church. That's weird, you know, and all this stuff. And I just never really listened to them. I always did what I wanted to do. And so it's crazy because after that, I feel like more things started coming to light to me. I think the veil started to get thin, and I started seeing people for who they were. And starting that day, I started seeing who he was, my ex, because he didn't want me to go to church or be associated with anything like that. And I just thought that was weird, you know, especially from our conversations, it didn't match up because I thought he was for it, you know. And so the veil started getting thinner, and I started seeing people for who they were, and it just got worse and worse. And I remember it may have been a little bit after that, or maybe before, because I think I moved in with him in the summertime, and that was like kind of around the time that I went to that church, and the veil just kept getting thinner and thinner, and I started seeing people more for who they were, you know. And the craziest part, as I was seeing people for who they were, one of my sisters, she would watch tarot a lot. And I wasn't about tarot. Like, I wasn't really involved in tarot at all. And because I didn't want to know my future. And I just felt like it should unfold the way that naturally, you know. And so she would watch tarot a lot. And she would tell me, you know, you should really watch it. And she'd be like, maybe it'll help you. And I was just like, no, I don't want to know what my future holds yet. I'm going to just live life and let it happen, you know. And she'd be like, no, but it really might help you, you know, and figure out what's going on in your life or with your life, you know. And so it took me a minute, but I started watching it too. So we had like certain readers that we would watch, and we'll talk about it with each other, you know. And as time went on, like, I remember that was one of my other sisters, right, at the time, where I thought was my sisters. And so and I had this other sister that I was really close with. Like, we were super close, I thought. We were super close. Like, I took care of her since she was like a baby. And we grew up together, like, really close. She was always attached to my hip. We were so close to where, like, every job I would get, she would be there. She would get a job there, you know. We worked together a lot. I would watch her kid. She would watch my kids sometimes, you know. We'll hang out a lot. And it was so crazy that we're always around each other that she started looking like me, you know. Like, people at our job would think that I would go in the bathroom and change my clothes. And they'd be looking at me weird. They'd be like, didn't you just walk past my desk? Did you change that quick? And I'd be like, no. Like, what are you talking about? That's probably my sister, you know, because she started looking just like me. And so, like, people can't really tell the difference between us two because we're always together. And the more that we were together, the more she looked like me, you know. They can't really tell us apart. And so we are super close. Like, I did a lot for her. Like, a lot. And I always took care of her, whatever she needed, you know. And I thought we were so close, so I would not have thought that she would have betrayed me or didn't like me the whole time, you know. And so we would go to lunch together and stuff too. And so I think, like, after I moved in with my boyfriend, my ex, we would go to his house on lunch and get lunch and talk, you know. And so I remember we went to lunch one day, and I was showing her a reading, and I think it was her sign. I'm not for sure, but we're like listening to the reader, and she was saying, she's like, there's a huge family betrayal, you know. And she was like, it's horrible. It's such a huge family betrayal that's going on, or that's going to happen. And it's going to hurt you really bad, you know. And so at the time, I kind of felt like something was going on behind my back and stuff, but I couldn't really put my finger on it. And I'm the type that will go for the facts, you know, and the truth. So I'm not going to jump to conclusions until I know the truth, you know. And so, but I always felt it deep down inside, like the whole time, because of like how I would be treated, you know. And so I think at that time I started to see how people truly felt about me, you know. And when we were at my house on lunch that day, I remember I was mopping my floor in the kitchen, and I was showing her, we're listening to the reading, and she mentioned something about a huge family betrayal. And when she said that, I remember I started tearing up, like I almost cried, because I looked at my sister, and she didn't even look different. She just kind of had a blank stare on her face. She was looking at me, you know. I was just like, that's weird. And I started crying because I felt like it was true because of my intuition. And so the veil started getting thinner and thinner as time went by. You know, it got worse and worse. And I started seeing people for who they truly were. And then I figured out she didn't really like me. And like she would say little things like if a guy, I remember went to the gas station one day, and this guy was by the door blocking it. He's like fixing the light. And when I walked in, I was like, excuse me, you know. And he's like, oh, you're excused, beautiful, and all this stuff, right? And so I got back to the car, and I was telling her what he was saying to me. I was like, that guy was hitting on me. He saw I was beautiful and stuff, you know. And she's like, well, if he thinks that you're beautiful, then I must be gorgeous. And I was just like, what is that supposed to mean? You know, like somebody can't call me beautiful, you know. And I just felt like it was being like she was being a hater. And so that's when I like really tapped in. I was just like, that's weird. Why would she say that? Like, she's better than me, you know. Like, I couldn't get any type of compliments, and if I did, then it's wrong, you know. And she's way better than me, you know. I was just like, that's weird, because I never thought of her like that. I never did that to my family. I never tried to act like I was better than anybody or treat them bad at all. So it kind of hurt me really bad whenever the truth started coming out about how they really truly felt about me. And over the time, it just got worse and worse, and I started seeing people more for who they were, and I started noticing that they really didn't care for me as much as I did for them. And so I kind of distanced myself and tried to protect myself, because more information started coming out, and the veil got thinner and thinner, and I started seeing crazy stuff, like literally how people truly were, and it kind of freaked me out. So I was trying to protect me and my kids, so I went into survival mode. And I'll tell you guys more about that later over time. But I remember that was like my first time hearing that God was a woman. And so as the veil got thinner and I just started becoming more enlightened, I got more quiet and I stayed to myself more. I didn't answer my phone for anybody anymore. I kind of like stayed to myself because everybody's being weird towards me. And all at once, like even my boyfriend, like everybody just vanished and they're just acting weird. And I remember I just became more enlightened as the further away I got away from them. And by me becoming enlightened, I realized that God is within all of us, you know. God is within everything because he created everything, you know. So, you know, if you search for God, you could search for him within inside of yourself because he's inside of everybody, right? And so by them saying God is a woman, well, and then later when I went to church, they're saying like he was woman and man, you know, because he's inside of all of us. And so that's what I got from it later when I got more enlightened about the situation. And I know that for a fact, you know, God is within all of us. You just have to know how to tap into yourself to be able to discover, self-discovery, pretty much self-discover go into like figure out who you truly are, and whenever you are able to discover yourself, more about yourself, then you'll be able to overcome a lot of stuff and find God within inside of yourself. And then you'll be able to be in that godly state to be able to do certain things and be more enlightened, to be honest with you. That's how I did it. And by my research too, I know that's how you're able to become enlightened and be more into your godly state, is by finding God within yourself, and by doing that and becoming enlightened, the way that you can do that is by overcoming forces within time and space. So the worldly desires and just overcoming certain forces that try to control you to lead you astray, And so once you overcome, the time, once you overcome the forces that try to take you off of your path, which is like negative forces, certain addictions, and or just being like stranded and limited, pretty much, and that because time and space is limited, and so once you overcome certain forces within time and space, and you know how to overcome the forces that try to lead you astray, then you become more enlightened over time, and then even like whenever you struggle too, whenever you go through certain struggles, like some people, they'll be led astray because the struggle is so hard, they actually would go off path and do some crazy stuff. Maybe they'll go and rob a bank or something, or they just lose hope and start doing things that limits them from actually becoming like a higher source within themselves, And so whenever you overcome your struggles the right way, no matter how hard it is, then that's whenever you become more enlightened and you be able to be a master of time and space, And so when you're become a master of time and space, and know that you can overcome any obstacles that come your way, then you become more enlightened and you become more, you reach higher as far as your conscious levels to your more godly state, if that makes sense. And then the more that you get higher and higher and overcome all your struggles the right way, and just go into self-discovery and discover who you truly are, then you'll be able to become more of be more of in a godly state rather than not, And so that's how I do it. So I can like overcome a lot of stuff, right? But every time I do, I become more enlightened and I become stronger. I don't actually fall back or anything like that, but I'm able to go up and down. Like, that's kind of like how they say, like, being able to move above and below, and so what is it? It's like as above, so below. I'm able to move up and down because I know how to control lower forces. So I'm a master of the time and space, and so I don't let negative forces control me. I know how to control it, I don't let it control me. So I can do certain things like maybe drink wine and stuff like that, but I know how to control it. I don't let it control me, pretty much, So that's just an example. So whenever you're able to do that, then you'll be able to come higher and reach closer to your more godly state. And when you're more in your godly state, nothing can really mess with you. If that makes sense. So I didn't really learn that until I became enlightened, and I began to gain more wisdom about how to be more in my godly conscience, And everybody can do it. You just got to learn how to overcome time and space, which is the material world, and because it's all limited, and you can never really be happy if you're limited. And time and space is limited. So it's not abiding. And so you can never find satisfaction, full satisfaction within time and space. Like, you can try to, like, go have a baby to be happy, or buy the nicest car to be happy, but it's all limited because it's only like a limited time of that happiness. You know, you can never be fully satisfied, and the only way that you can be fully satisfied is if it's abiding, and the only way that it's going to be abiding is if you overcome time and space and know that, you know, materials and like things of the world isn't going to make you happy. Once you understand that, then you'll understand that, or you'll be able to have more limited or limitless happiness and joy, you know, because you're not looking for happiness within inside of the material world. You look for it within inside yourself, if that makes sense. That's why you guys don't really see me like upset or anything with a lot of stuff that I go through. Like, I might certain things might irritate me, but at the end of the day, I'm still happy, you know. And I might not have everything that a lot of other people have, but I'm still happy with what I have. And that's because I don't find joy within within time and space. I find joy within myself, which is limitless, and it's more abiding, which is limitless pretty much. And by me having that type of joy, I could be satisfied with anything. And that's because I'm more in my godly conscience, you know. And that's because I overcame the time and space. You know, I know that I can't find happiness with things of time and space, if that makes sense. So by me being like that, I could be happy in any situation, regardless of what situation I'm in. I'm still going to be happy. You know, nobody can really bring me down. And that's why I'm the way that I am. And I don't know, but it's like so crazy because with all the betrayals and stuff that I went through too, it helped me a lot to overcome my struggles and stuff alone. And it seemed like a lot of people that I was in contact with, even the closest people that I thought loved me, you know, I just learned how to love myself, you know, and just find love within myself. And because I used to put them on like a really high pedestal, you know, I loved my family and stuff, but, you know, as time went on, I just found out more and more of the truth. And it's hurtful then, but I overcame that hurt. You know, I already forgave a lot of people, but I mean, I forgive them but keep it pushing, you know. And that's why you guys don't really see me around anyone. Like, I'm alone a lot because I know I can't disappoint myself, you know. And so if I do be around anyone, it's because I could feel their energy and know that they're more on my level. And I just can't trust everyone. And I learned the hard way with that. So that's why I'm the way I am. And if I do be around people, it'll be a really small circle, and it'll be certain people that I know I could trust, you know. And so doesn't mean I don't love people, because I love everybody, to be honest. Regardless if they betrayed me or not, I still love them. And at the end of the day, I just don't, I could love them at a distance, like, you know, and just not have them in my energy. But yeah, so I just find love within myself, and it's the best feeling ever. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys more about it. I know it might be confusing. It was kind of confusing to me in the beginning when I started to learn more about it, but it just became easier and easier over time, you know, the more knowledge I got received. But I'll be able to explain more about it. But I don't know, like, I believe like the best way to have unlimited joy is to find it within yourself, and not with the realm, or within the realm of time and space. You got to go above that, you know, and don't let the world of time and space control your life. And because, you know, you notice, like, whenever you buy a new car or a new house, or which are all nice things, like, I love that stuff, you know, but I don't depend on that to be my happiness, if that makes sense. I know that there's happiness that's more abiding other than limited, you know, because those things are limited. You can never really take them with you if you pass on and stuff, you know. So it's like, or you might be, and you know, some people might be happy with the car they get, you know, the new car, but just for a little bit, and then they want the newer car because they're never happy, because it's always like the world of time and space is always changeable, but it's limited, if that makes sense. So the only way that it'll be limitless is if you find joy within inside yourself and happiness within inside yourself, and that way it'll be limitless, you know, and you'll be happy with new things that you get too, but you'll still always have that joy if you didn't have it, if that makes sense. If you don't have those things, you'll still be happy. But by overcoming lower forces and the struggles, then you'll be able to become more enlightened, which helps your conscious level raise, you know, and so into a more godly state. And then once you're there, then nothing can really make you upset, and especially like not having certain things, you know, because you'll just be happy with inside yourself, other than being happy with the material world, if that makes sense. Sorry, it's super hot right now. I'm all sweating. But I just want to wish you guys a good Sunday, to be honest. I just wanted to come in for a second and talk to you guys for a little bit, because I know it's been a minute, and yeah. But I hope that everybody have a great day. I'm sorry if I talked your heads off. But I just want to wish you guys a good day, and all that good stuff for this Sunday. But I love you guys, and I'll let you guys go. But I'll be on tomorrow. I'll come on later this week to talk to you guys more. So yeah. I hope you guys have a good day. I'm gonna have a great day. Of course, as always, per usual. But yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.